Hi, this is Jeff Moy, archivist of the North Jersey History and Genealogy Center, and today we are continuing our exploration of the Frederick Curtis Historic Photograph Collection with a look at natural disasters, the changing nature of American identity, and the history of work in Morris County. In part one of the series, we covered an overview of Curtis's life and work in northern New Jersey, including his time spent as a freelance photographer through which he documented nearly 3 decades of life in the state. Studio portraits and other paid assignments comprise the majority of Fred's photographs. However, he frequently captured natural disasters, fires, and other events that reflected how citizens joined together to respond to emergencies. Since these moments were not posed, he depicted individuals who may not otherwise have been photographed, as well as their day-to-day attire. One aspect of life in New Jersey that unfortunately has not changed is the occurrence of auto accidents in the state, and Curtis documented more than a few for both auto insurance and investigation purposes. Some of Fred's photos served as the basis for early public safety campaigns against speeding, the dangers of distracted driving, as well as the results of mixing alcohol with automobiles. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were a particularly dynamic and turbulent period in America's racial, religious, and ethnic history. However, some of Curtis's photos reflect aspects of life common amongst many of the country's citizens, such as marriages, baptisms, and other religious rites. Not all newcomers were equally welcomed by those who had arrived before them. The sudden influx of German and Irish Catholics in the mid-1800s, followed by the large numbers of Southern and Eastern Europeans, tested the definitions of what it meant to be an American. After decades of terrorizing African Americans in the South, the Ku Klux Klan attracted new members by targeting those newer immigrants in the North, and this 1925 Basking Ridge rally was one of many well-attended gatherings within the state. Nevertheless, with each new generation, Morris County citizens continued to work, pass along traditions, and pursue a better life for their families, even as the definition of what it meant to be an American expanded. Between 1900 and 1940, the nature of work in northern New Jersey became less agricultural in nature and more heavily focused on manufacturing, scientific discovery, and office work. As many men and women began attaining higher degrees of education, this presented greater opportunities. And as America's middle class began to grow in the early 1900s, retail shopping, universal public education, and modern municipal works also became more common. As always, you can find these images and more, including original artwork, historic maps, archival papers, and oral histories at mmtlibrary.org. Thanks for watching. We'll return soon with more from the North Jersey History and Genealogy Center. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter at NJ History Center or read our articles at morristowngreen.com.